Yo, Team Talk Podcast episode 17. Myself, Samuel Law. I got a big what? So I got Skuff today, debut. What you saying, Skuff?
I'm here, man.
Yeah. I got Nesi, what you saying, bro?
Come on, what's going on, people?
And I got Coach, regular Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I'm in a good mood. Just finished watching Tottenham Manchester United. This was the big test. This was the one they said, oh yeah, Cardiff, Huddersfield, Bright, these teams, you know, we should be beating them. I'm waiting for Tottenham. Tottenham's the one I'm waiting for. So, Coach, I'm going to bring it to you. How do you think United performed today? And has any of your questions been answered that?
It's a difficult one today because you can't argue with the result. Otherwise, it's a results business. So however you play is a results business, especially after Christmas. It's down to results now. It's not really about performances like that. It's results that everyone needs right now. But then when you look at the match itself, it was a game of two halves.
Yeah, definitely.
Basically, I think United, their counter-attacking was working in the first half, but the second half they dropped off a bit. But Spurs were just wave after wave after wave, and obviously De Gea had one of them games he had like when he had played against Arsenal.
At the Emirates.
Yeah, at the Emirates. He just had one of them games. Everything was just attracted to him. He's like a magnet to the ball.
Yeah. So,
in a way, results-wise, definitely Solskjaer's part of it. Definitely.
Okay.
And I think once again.
That's Nesi clapping, by the way. I've got a smile on my face.
He's definitely past it. Because I said that. Yeah. I'm going to wait till Spurs and see what. Because I thought Spurs, that was the one, basically. And he's got through that. Whether we played well in the second half or not.
Because the onus is, the past 5 games, the onus was on us, really.
Yes, exactly.
Whereas this one, we had to show a bit of steel because the team that we're playing are as good, if not better.
And it was funny even how he done his subs and his tactics and stuff like that, because some of it is also reminiscent of the old manager as well. Because even when he brought Martial off, and Martial's face, Martial always talks French underneath his breath when he's coming off when he's vexed, and he was coming off vexed, talking French and stuff like that. And that's the same way Mourinho used to bring Martial off, because even Solskjaer is realising these big games, you're getting Trippier that's just crossing the ball time and time and time.
Much didn't change when he came off though. When Martial came off, they were still whipping it in.
But what I'm saying is that even when I go back to my guy Rashford, the racehorse, that's why I call him the racehorse, because Solskjaer knows between the two of you, who's going to track Trippier more? Do you know what I'm saying? And it's going to be Rashford 10 times out of 10.
Oh yeah, Rashford moved to the left.
Rashford moved to the left because he wanted to stop. Basically, Trippier getting the ball too much. And that's the thing about even going back to Martial, that's why he came off. But going back to what you're saying about Solskjaer, he passed the test at the end of the day. But it was in the game itself, 2 halves, Spurs second half, I think Man United the first half. But to what you were saying about before, the previous manager, we would have got blown over in this game. Just like I think we did last year. I think we got blown over. He's changed everything at that club right now in terms of the spirit. And I remember I said the spirit is the first thing I look for. Yeah. The football-wise, like I said, it's about results right now. I'm not really looking, but he passed the test that I wanted to see him pass, and he passed it. Can't say anything about that.
Half time, I looked at Skuff and Nesi and I said, if you were the manager, if you were Solskjaer right now, what would you do? Do you go defensive or do you play the same way you were playing in the first half? Nesi said, it's common sense to drop and, be more compact because you're in the lead, etc. Now, how you said it was a game of 2 halves, Coach, I said my point was that not necessarily there's a right or wrong, but if we drop back, United, we crumble when we have to put bodies behind the ball and hold a lead. My thing is that our strength is attacking, Let's play the way we're playing. Obviously, some people might think, you know what, if you're in the lead, drop back and hold the result. If not for De Gea, could have been 1-1.
Could have been 5-1.
So, Nesi, what do you think about basically...
Okay, I'll flip it to you first. We had the discussion. You said one thing, I said the other. What did they do in the second half, out of your mouth?
Yeah, we dropped. Oh, no. At the start of the second half, we came out and played the same way.
What happened in the second half?
No, but we dropped later on.
No, Samson.
We dropped later on.
Samson, the thing was coming because you were going. Most of Spurs' things were counter-attacks, G. They were counter-attacks. They weren't putting it on you. Spurs'
no, but there was times when I was saying, look, how much guys are behind the ball.
It got to about the 65th minute, and we were literally dropping.
The second half was the second half split. The first half of the second half, we were attacking. And you even said
they were getting in behind you.
Yeah,
they were getting in behind you. They were coming back. They were coming at you. They created more chances in the second half. With you lot continuing your thing. I think like you lot should have played a bit smarter, dropped off a few yards, You've got the players to count. What's the point of having Lingard, Rashford, and thing on?
Some can't. We nearly counted them. There was times we. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's a big gamble. That's my opinion. And it's not like you said. There's no right or wrong answer. My thing, like we use the FIFA thing, innit? Do you stay balanced or do you go defensive?
Yeah.
Me, I always think in a big game of that magnitude, you've got a goal. Goals. How many big games do you really see 3-4, 4-0? Unless it's Arsenal playing where it's all this nonsense. Most big games is fine margins from. So if you've got a goal advantage, I think it's always common sense. Unless you're Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Madrid,
Liverpool do that.
City. Okay, Liverpool now because of who they are, bro. You have to sit back first and count. If you've got the players on the pace to counter. That's my opinion.
But I think that was even the whole point in terms of United changing that sort of mentality, being on the front foot. So what Nesi's saying is, football wise, coaching wise, tactically, is correct at the end of it. But because of the whole hoopla with the ex-manager being too defensive, I even heard Jamie Redknapp, he's always interrupting the commentators. I don't know why Sky Sports are doing that stupidness, but he interrupted the commentator and said, when Pogba's like this, why do you ask him to defend? Why do you ask him to drop back?
What you're saying is, we're talking about in-game management now, and what you're talking about with the other management, the criticism came because he was setting them up like that against teams that United should be blown away.
Those last 5 games,
what we're talking about is in-game management. But when I see a United lineup and I start seeing like basically I'm looking at who's attacking, I'm seeing 7 defenders. I'm thinking, why is my man doing this? Why is Sanchez, this Lingard, so many man on the bench when you're better than this team? That was the criticism of Mourinho. That's the difference.
Scuff, we say, man. So first time here on the podcast. Get me. I'm in a good mood, man. I'm happy, man. Get me. So how do you reckon the game went for United or Tottenham? Like, what was your analysis?
Well, I feel like with United, like they was able to play like their free role, like as in there was a bit more free, because when you see when Mourinho was there, he was always getting them to defend. Pogba's saying in his interview that it's not really in his nature to kind of be a defender, so he felt like he was able to play free. So
how do you think Pogba done today?
No, I think he done well. He pretty much created something kind of nothing in order for, do you know what I mean? So I feel like he was able to just be himself and at least attack. So anytime it came down to making runs, he would run at defenders, put the wingers through, and I felt like that was...
Can I answer that question as well quickly? Because I said it in game. I still do feel like it's still not the best Pogba. Like, I wouldn't rate that like a 10 out of 10. Like, I think they were overdoing it a bit. Pogba is still better than what we're seeing, and we all know this. If you've seen him at Juventus and his first stint at United, when you saw like, okay, this guy's gonna be a baller. I still don't think today. I feel there's still stuff he could have done a bit better. I told you there was times on the ball, he was still a bit too sloppy, a bit too casual. I'm like, brother, why don't you? You've got it. Like, why don't you just let it go? Like,
that was at 1-0 up, though, innit? At the time, that was at 1-0 up.
You still see glimpses of it here and there, but I still feel like for me, I said it to you. I think he's a bit lazy, and I'm not forget defensive because that's what I'm trying to say. You can still be lazy on the ball. Yeah, like he's too casual, bro.
No, but it was 1-0 up at the time when he started, because in the first half he was moving fizzy. I know, but he was moving fizzy in the first half.
His performance, it was okay, but he got away. He got away with it in terms of the number one. When I saw there's no Dembele. Every time he's played against Dembele's outplayed him to an extent, apart from the semi-final when we beat them. But Dembele has that midfield up when he plays against Man United. Then today, got another lucky way. Sissoko got injured. If Sissoko plays the whole match...
It was still 0-0, innit?
Yes, if Sissoko plays the whole match, Pogba's not getting that freedom. He's not, because once Sissoko went off, there was no steel in that Tottenham midfield. They had the technical players and stuff, but the steel had gone. Like, Sissoko would have been on Pogba's... Do you get what I'm saying? So when every time I see Pogba play against Dembele or someone like a Sissoko who can match him physically and whatnot, that's the game I want to see him. But listen, it's not his problem that guys are getting injured or whatever. He's done his business. He's done his job. He's done his job.
You never used to be this kind when back in school days when Arsenal players used to get injured. Man. When you lot used to injure, you never used to be this kind, fam.
Harry Kane. I thought like Harry Kane was trying too hard today. I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like when it's like eyes on Harry, like, okay, this is a big game, Harry, you've been doing well, now perform. It's almost like he tries too hard. It's one of those things. I don't like saying, like, to me that's too black and white. Because he did that World Cup. This game, like, even the game.
We're picking the games now. What about the games where he has done it? The big games where he has done it, fam. It's both. Not every big player, except Messi, Ronaldo, is going to turn up every single big game. Today, things didn't go his way. The left-footed shot could have done a bit better. I thought it was going to come across the second half. Yeah, the one that they get. It's a good save. But I do agree with you that I wouldn't say
during the game you were saying, what are you doing? Like, pass the ball. Like,
to me, it's not trying hard. It's being greedy. And
you're trying hard. Yeah, that's what you're trying to make it you're trying to make it about you.
To me, is that trying hard or is that selfishness? Like, pop it off to like there was times where around your box where to me it looks so chock-a-block, and I'm seeing Tottenham still finding passes in the small gaps. Then Kane's holding it, trying to shift and make brother, pass it off one more time. There's one more alleys to the left of you. Use them, but Kane's trying to shift and use them as like the decoy to shoot for himself, and it worked that one time.
Back to what he said, he's trying to.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. What I'm saying is, I wouldn't call it that. I think it's greed.
Personally, because me,
and you saw you rarely see. You know, normally when you got a star player, like no one shouts at Messi, no one shouts at Ronaldo. People don't really shout at Kane. I saw someone, I can't remember who it was, when he didn't pop it off, and I saw someone going nuts. Was it Trippier? I saw someone going nuts at him. So you could tell even his teammates were getting fed up, because that's something that really pisses me off.
I have my little weird theories here, and I know they're all wrong, but it's like I look at little things. He started trying over hard when Rashford scored, and me, I said during the game,
you love these.
No, I love it, because the thing is, for me, going into the game, it was like Solskjaer said, because they asked him about Harry Kane in the press conference. He said, "Yeah, Harry Kane's solid, but we've got a few players that I put up there as well." I was talking about Rashford, and he said Rashford's name, and he said, "Yeah, I thought." He said, "We're talking about Kane, but I thought Rashford can be up there." So I thought that and they're both English. They're both going for that centre forward. Now Rashford, you can't just say go on the wing. You can play him on the wing, but these last 6 games, he's shown he can play up top. So I feel like when Rashford scored, it's almost like Kane was like, nah, what? We're at home. This is my home. You get me? Everyone's eyes on me before the game, Tottenham, and I think he tried too hard. But Skuff, this is what I was going to talk about Rashford now. Before the game, did you see the stat as well?
Yeah, I saw it when you were talking about
age of 21. When Kane was 21, Rashford's 21 now. Rashford scored 39 goals. I think Kane scored 24. Rashford had England caps.
He didn't make a Premier League appearance.
Yeah. Kane hadn't. Rashford's basically been doing it on a bigger level at this age, I'm
going to answer that. Let you answer Skuffy first.
Do you think this is a very big one now? What I'm about to ask everyone around this table. Wait, can Rashford be better than Kane? Like when both players are at their peak, would Rashford be a better striker than Kane? You haven't, or you have?
No, I've got.
Well, to be honest, I'd say in some cases he would be. Do you get what I'm saying? Because Rashford is more of does more things as a player. With Kane, I just know him to be like a goal scorer. Do you get what I'm saying? So Rashford, like, you can have different players around him. Chances are he might assist more, but I don't know if he'll score.
Kane's got better assists though.
No, Kane probably has, but I'm talking like as in closer to the margin between goals as well as assists. You get what I'm saying? He'll probably be just a couple goals between assists, whatever. But when it comes to Kane, he's like the marksman, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? I wouldn't really just look to Rashford as just the marksman, because I feel like he's just more better all round than just as a striker. Do you get what I mean?
So is it an unfair question then? Because they're both different strikers. No, is it a fair question?
Your question is can. Go on.
But I just think that Rashford is a forward and Kane's just a striker. That's what I feel.
Basically, yeah. Because obviously, because you might be able to put Rashford on the wing to do a job, but you can't do the same for Kane. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like I would rather have Rashford in my team.
Okay? That's the question I was going to ask. Yeah, would you rather have Rashford in your team?
Yeah, because obviously, because it
depends when you're asking. Yeah, because right now.
No, not right now, but that's what they're showing at 21.
I mean, as a player.
Because Rashford, that's what they're showing at 21. Rashford, what Kane was doing. So when he gets to that,
should we nullify that easily? Now, this is where you have to be very careful when looking at ageism in football. Yeah. The younger you start, there's a tendency that and you can watch this. You can do exactly. Yeah. Look at Rooney. Rooney started his career at 16. By 30, Rooney was the equivalent of Ryan Giggs' 40. My 30 is not the same as your 30. You see what I'm saying? So to compare what Rashford's done at 21, Kane's done at 21, Kane came to the game later. Look at some of the greats that have come to the game later. Ian Wright, Drogba. Drogba had a typical African dad. Go and read your book. He had to go uni before he could play football, get his degree. So you can't always look at it like that.
And Rashford does bare running now. He's
that's good.
Okay, so let's
But that's what takes me. Because obviously, but you see with wingers, depending on what kind of player you are, I feel like the wingers, like, because he plays up front now, innit? Yeah. So I think he'll have more of a life in him. Do you get what I'm saying? If he was on the wing, he might deteriorate younger. Do you get what I'm saying? But then again, with Kane, it's like example, Sheringham. You see how he just used to always just
Alan Shearer.
Sheringham, all of them kind of players, like, you don't really lose your touch in pace.
Yeah, right.
As you're old.
That's what I'm trying to say. So that's why I think if you look at, like, to me, there's certain players that when we always talk about this world class defense, top player, I always look at. I don't like to get too involved in that anymore because everyone's got their own definition of world class. I look at it. Does this player have the X factor? Rashford is still a question over it. I think you could say to me. If you ask me,
who has the X factor?
Kane's got it. He's got it. He's got that X factor. Like this is a guy. He's proved it enough times, man. Come on. Like he's got that now. Like it's a stamp. Kane, even if Kane went away now, there will still be people that will say, yeah, this guy was a legend because of what he's done in just 2-3. Not necessarily everyone, but I'm saying there will be people for that. If Rashford's career finishes now, but again, the age thing is not really fair. He's only 21.
Let's talk about Rashford because
I think it also goes back to like they say, you can't really predict the future like that until it happens. And also, if the way Rashford plays, if he can avoid muscular injuries, because the way he runs and quite, like I call him the racehorse. So the way he runs and all that.
That's what we're going to talk about.
But what I'm saying is that he's a man that if he starts pulling the hamstrings and all that, that could cut him short too. The way he plays. So once again, he's a forward, so he can play on either one of the front feet. He's not like Kane. Kane's quite.
You're giving him more credit now than before. This is what I'm trying to say. Because this is what he took. What thing I was going to say about the forward there. I was going to say first of all, what gives Rashford an advantage is he's a winger.
Yeah, because we're talking about Rashford now.
And I think if you look at a lot of modern day players now, you have to be good at more than one position. Any player that I want to hear, this guy's a winger, this guy's a striker, in a way you're going to limit yourself. And if you are a striker, you have to be basically Kane level. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So for the fact that Rashford can play wing and play forward, that gives him an advantage. And you see what I'm saying? So that was my thing. Like, yeah, he's with that forward comment.
Because in other words, you can have two Rashfords, but not two Kanes. Do you get what I'm saying? As in, put them on both wings. That you can have like one, two.
Martial and Rashford, basically.
Do you get what I'm saying? You can have two of them. I feel like, but if you have two Kanes, it's gonna be a bit static up the front because obviously it depends on the type of tactic you play as well. Do you get what I'm saying?
It seems like Solskjaer is saying Rashford's his guy. Rashford's the number 9.
Was he coach Rashford?
What's that?
Did he coach Rashford?
No. Rashford came on later,
Yeah, that was before.
He was Pogba, Lingard.
But what it is as well, I've always said, obviously we're not going back to Solskjaer, but I've always said about, he's playing with house money. Like, if listen, if he plays Rashford and Rashford doesn't do well, it's not his fault. If he plays Rashford and he does well, okay, well, you can give me all the credit. But that's why he's even saying in interviews, don't give me the credit like that, because I knew Rashford what he can be. Do you get what I'm saying? And like you said, you wanted him to be the centre forward anyway, and now he's the centre forward, and you've got to keep him there right now because he's performing.
Okay, so how do you feel? Because you was Lukaku before. Listen, when I was saying it.
My thing was this with Rashford. Every time I saw him play, for me, if you don't have green grass in front of him, I think his IQ's low. That's what I'm saying. That's me.
IQ's low.
The IQ is low.
I don't know what you're.
IQ. Let me give you a prime example. We're winning 1-0. We're at Spurs. He's got the ball on the left. Because he's got green grass in front of him, he feels like he has to go and score another goal. But your IQ's telling you that you're about to hit stoppage time. Whether you like it or not, take the ball into the corner and keep it there.
I said that.
To me, that's the little. No. I'm nitpicking, but what I'm saying is that this is the sort of, even when sometimes Rashford was in front of, even the goal against Newcastle, I think he had a chance or whatever, and he could have squared it to someone or whatever, but he went and took the shot. But what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is that the best forwards, the best strikers, they make the right decisions at the right, because that's what it's about, decision making. That's what
Lukaku wasn't though.
What I'm saying is that right now, I'm not even comparing him to Lukaku, because Lukaku's fully off.
Oh, so you've confirmed that, boom, Lukaku should be the sub striker.
He should be the sub striker right now. For what I'm seeing from Rashford, the last 6 Solskjaer's come in, he has to play. Fantastic. You can't take anything away from what Rashford's doing. But if you ask me about how I've seen Rashford since he's come into the team till now, I think there's been a lot of, if there's green grass in front of him like his goal today, he's lethal. That's just how he is. But in tight spots, in tight areas, his football IQ, I don't think he's up there. But like you said, he's still young. He's still.
He's talking about Rashford.
And he said Sterling's better in tight spaces than Rashford.
No, you remember, but you got to remember what Rashford done when he set up Pogba against what team was it? Bournemouth.
One instance, bro.
That's an example, though. That's even one example, though.
But this is what I'm trying to.
There was no green grass.
There was 2 men in front of him.
This is what I'm trying to say. I'm talking about when he came in for that Europa run when Van Gaal was there to he is now. That's how we're measuring them up. I'm not measuring them up from the last 6 months.
Did you see his debut against Arsenal?
No, I've seen his debut, but Arsenal just that poor. It doesn't matter who we play against. Like, come on now, you know, come on, man.
Arsenal are supposed to win that, man.
Debut come against Man City, and we would have seen a different story.
It wasn't a green grass thing. I'm just disputing your green, because green grass is Walcott, Lennon, Sterling, them man there.
And you did say Walcott that day. You said Walcott. You said Walcott that day. You said Walcott that day.
Listen to what I'm saying.
No.
Listen to what I'm saying.
You have to acknowledge what he's saying.
Yeah, with the Walcott thing. Yeah.
But do you still think that?
I said he's similar to Walcott in the early stages in terms of when there's no green grass for Rashford, he can't work in tight spaces. Yeah, but I said he's better than Walcott. That's what I said.
Is he in the same group?
No, he's not in it. I didn't. Listen,
he's not in the same group.
When you ask me to compare him from when I mean green grass, that's what I mean. Like me, he calls Nesi calls Sterling green. I mean green grass, but Sterling can work in tighter spaces better than Rashford.
Let's talk about Sterling. Rashford.
And he can work in tighter spaces better than Rashford right now. And the reason why I say that, the reason why I say that is, once again, I go back to my body of work. You had an England manager who had Rashford. You had an England manager who had Sterling. So no. But this is what
I don't rate them, man. You rate them, man.
Listen. I'm not saying
we're never gonna agree on that. You rate Southgate. I don't.
Listen. You can demise Southgate as much as you want. I'm just going off what man's resume is telling me. And he had a fully fit Rashford, and he had a fully fit Raheem Sterling. Don't forget, Raheem Sterling was getting no love from the British public. They kept on telling Southgate, drop him. He's crap. He's not scoring. What did Southgate do? He stuck with him. Why? Because he knows in them tight games, in them tight areas where you need players to float around, he's better than Rashford.
And what did he do?
He's an all-round better player than Rashford right now. That's my opinion, Raheem Sterling.
And what did he do? And what did he do when he gave him the opportunity?
What do you mean, what did he do?
I'm asking the question.
When he come off the pitch, what did England do?
No. I'm asking, you said he gave him the opportunity, so tell me what he did. It's a simple question. Rashford, in those tight spaces in the World Cup, where was it? What did he do in the World Cup?
Rashford or Sterling? Who are you talking about?
Rashford. What did he do in the World
Rashford
Cup?
didn't do nothing.
Sorry. What did he do in the World Cup?
What do you mean, what did he do?
I'm asking a question. What did he do? Can you answer it, yes or no?
Of course, I'm just telling you.
Tell me.
I'm saying that.
What did he do?
Listen, when you say what did Rashford do, you're looking for goals.
No, that's not. I want to hear you because you're telling me.
But I'm saying the way he was linking up play with Lingard, Ali, and Kane, he was in the middle.
Sterling was definitely of use in the World Cup. He's one of the first names on the team sheet in the World Cup.
Disrespect man like that.
No, it's not what he did. From what I was saying at the time, yeah, and it might not be a something that's. Wait. No, wait.
You lot get personal attachments to. I don't.
No, I don't.
No one leaves.
Sterling's a Man City fan. Sterling's Man City.
I know why you lot are backing Sterling, because of all the racism, the media thing.
Was I backing Sterling before? Was I backing Sterling before? Listen, I've been backing Sterling when him, Suarez and Sturridge were badding up the Premier League that one season there, when he come in the team when he was just 18 years old. And he was
Sterling at the World Cup, yeah?
Come on, man.
Let's not get too off topic, but Sterling at the World Cup, what I was saying at the time was that he was used like almost to get defenders away. Like he was such a threat off the ball, yeah?
No.
Not everyone could do that.
Listen, let me tell you why. Which kills his one. When Sterling came off, who came on for him?
Rashford.
Yes. When Rashford came on, England went stale. You know why he went stale? Because Rashford and Kane are similar sort of players in that England team. Where, listen, Rashford can't work in tight spaces like that.
No. This is what I'm saying. This is what I think here. I think Rashford and Sterling are two opposite players that both can run. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I feel like Rashford, in tight spaces, I personally think he could do more. Like he takes on players, all of that. But you see Sterling
on the byline, you see what he does.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you see when it comes to Sterling, when he does his job is when you don't see him with the ball. So you see, so he'll be even if he has to be a decoy.
No, literally, that's what. But there's an art to it.
Fantastic.
So obviously knowing that he plays for Man City and he's got guys like gems that play for them, if they decide to find him and he's in open space,
which he always gets. It's not if. It's not coincidence. He gets those spaces.
So he obviously is open to more opportunities, which
and
I feel like gives him the opportunity to get the goals. But you see how you was talking about Rashford in the World. I mean Sterling in the World Cup. I feel like the Rashford that we see now, if he was bringing that to the table, I think he would have started instead of Sterling.
But this is what I'm saying. This is my whole point in terms of the Rashford now. This is what I'm trying to say. I'm talking about a body of work. I ain't talking about 6-7 games or a month or two. Sterling's body of work since he came into Liverpool
SAS,
to he is now,
He's
has been
more.
better than
He's done more. He's done
For
more.
me, even take the last year, even performances. Yeah, take the last year individual performances. Sterling has been better.
Sterling's won games for City last season.
But this,
how many years ago was that? Like, how long has Sterling been playing first team for? For a while, right?
First team at City or
No. Like, what's since Liverpool? What
18.
20?
Longer than
I'm saying. So
he's older. He's older. A couple years older than Rashford. And my thing is this: you can use all this your hero Southgate and them man there and the international and all that. Fantastic. I'm relaxed. I'm not emotional. You're emotional.
My hero. I
No, but you expect it, man.
I said hero.
Alright, cool.
I just said they were
you're
both in
using
the
it.
same
Cool.
squad.
Alright, you can use Southgate and that, yeah? We can look at it, first of all, I can kill that easily. In an international tournament, manager's got to go with who's in form. And I think that's what Southgate did, right? For the most part, all over the pitch.
Sterling was a league winner.
There you go, all over the pitch, yeah? I look at football, I watch it, I close the commentary, I look at my own eyes, bro, yeah? What did I always say about Sterling at City, about his goals? Now, most of the stuff, they're tappings, right?
Yeah.
Sterling is on the end of most stuff for Man City because he's good at running into an open space, green grass. Okay, sometimes they're in tight space. He's good at getting in between two players, but it's just a tapping. Rashford, if he's in a position where if I'm in a position where I'm running, there's 3 defenders. Sterling's got the ball. Rashford's got the ball. Who's more like to do something? Sterling, he can cross it. He'll be the one.
Let's talk about the goal. Let's talk about the goal today. Let's talk about the goal today.
Listen.
That's one. No. I'm just trying to say when I look at a better player, overall, we've already said forward. So even if you want to use your point again, forward, Rashford can play 2 positions. I'm not putting Sterling up top. I'm not putting him up top.
Pep
Has he?
But I wouldn't.
Pep has a few times.
Cool. So you're putting him up top. So you put him up top.
Of course.
He's too small. He's too small.
He's a better forward.
Listen. I'm saying he's a better player, so he must be a better forward. I'm saying to me,
You would rather put Sterling. Wait.
Come on. Listen, let me tell you why. 95% of football is played without what?
The ball.
Thank you. The ball. Yes. You're saying that he's better off the ball. Do you know what that tells me that you're saying? His IQ is better than thing right now. His IQ. But what I'm saying is that. But when Rashford gets the ball, yeah, that's when everyone's seeing that's his biggest thing. Them little flashes. But I'm looking at the whole body of work, the whole player. The whole.
So you're looking at this like with City, the way City create chances and move the ball around, yeah. Sterling in that team as centre forward would score because he's just getting a position.
You keep talking about City. This boy's been doing it since Liverpool.
When he was 18. Centre forward now. We're talking about centre forward.
What do you mean?
So if he plays Sterling centre forward with all the chances that they've got, they'll create a lot for him. He'll get in those positions. Whereas Rashford,
because guess what? With Sterling, once again, even if you play him, the few times he's played up front, which obviously is rare, few times you can't mark him. This is what I'm saying.
That's my thing with Sterling. It's very hard to mark Sterling.
Just what I'm saying. That's why he's playing.
But when they're on the ball, their chances, they're putting it away.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something that proved to me once again that Sterling is a baller. He's got the most ruthless manager in probably world football right now, who doesn't give a monkey's what you're on. Yeah, if you're not performing, you're not going to be on my team sheet. And those group of players that he has to fight against to get into the team. Look at Rashford. Who's his competition right now?
Lukaku. Yeah.
And you just don't rate. Most Man United fans are not rating Lukaku for a long time now. Sloppy.
Quickly before you come off this door, the goal today, just the goal today. You're talking about centre forward now, so forget the player overall. Centre forward. When Pogba plays that ball to Rashford, yeah, we was all watching together. He was through on goal. I thought he was gonna chop it. No, I thought he was gonna drag it wide. Certain man, we've seen they cut back. Yeah, cut back in. When I say chop it, I mean cut back in and wait.
Asking the question, what do you think Sterling would have done in that position? Please, honestly.
That same position that Rashford was in when Pogba got him the ball.
But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Listen.
Forget this topic.
See, this is what I'm saying. You ask questions, but you want to answer it too. Do you get what I'm saying?
You don't answer it.
In that position, Sterling ain't gonna score that goal like that. You know why he's not gonna score that goal like that? Number one, he ain't got the strides like Rashford's got, because he's a racehorse. Yeah, he ain't got the strides that he's got. So you know what Sterling would have done? Sterling would have cut across Vertonghen, is what I'm trying to say. He's not going to run in a straight line with Vertonghen because he knows Vertonghen's probably going to catch him in a straight line. He would beat him going across him. So you know when your first touch is across the defender, and if he taps you, it's a foul. Okay. Whatever it is. Rashford doesn't need to do that because he already knows that, yo, I've got the green grass in front of me. I'm running the straight line.
The angle was tight.
But it was a fantastic finish.
Even got the touch to go across. See,
this is what I'm saying. You're asking questions, but you got your own answer, so you can't hear the answer.
I disagree with your answer.
I'm saying Sterling is not going to run in a straight line how Rashford did and finish across the keeper because he doesn't have those strides.
So he finishes that though.
Of course he finishes it.
I don't think he finishes
because listen.
I don't. The Sterling, I know, and I rate Sterling. I don't think he finishes
as much as you guys are going to use today as an example, I can pull up a bag of Rashford chances, 1v1 with the keeper, where he spooned it over.
That's why I thought he was going to drag it wide. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was going wide. I thought it was going wide.
Let's not go with the whole because Rashford's in front of the goal. Yeah, I knew he was going to bury it. No, Rashford misses.
I didn't think either.
Rashford misses as many chances as anybody else, if not more.
Samson, the season, not this last season, where Sterling had his best goal scoring season for City, how many chances did he miss? How many sitters did he miss? That I suppose you were in the group, so you know, because I highlight, everyone knows. We're Sterling does something, because it's been an ongoing debate, fam, this Sterling thing. We started with Sterling and Ox, you get me? In terms of, when I'm saying a play, I'm talking about overall ability, what they can do. Sterling is a good runner off the ball. As soon as he sees traffic, oh shit, I don't know what to do. Let me look. Sané, Maris, I've got to help you. Where you at? He's not going to take you on. He's going to cut it back and look for support and then run off. He's very good about it.
That's football IQ though. Yeah, that's football IQ. But
different opinions, but that's
listen. Another subplot to this game was the managers. Yeah, a lot of people felt this was like an audition. Like, okay, Solskjaer's done well with United. Poch is the guy that United want. That's going to take the job in the summer. Some fans, a small section of fans, they're growing now and they're getting louder. They want Solskjaer because they feel he knows the United way and the tradition, basically. They want him to have the job permanent. So you said, look, when you came in today, off the podcast, you said to me, it doesn't look good for me. When I said, okay, I'm happy that Solskjaer's won. What did you mean by that?
Because I don't care what anyone tells me about Spurs, and I've said it time and time and time again. When the pressure is on, Pochettino's Spurs don't deliver. It's simple. I've been saying that for the longest. I don't care what anyone's telling me about. Like today, obviously Spurs missed chances and whatever. But what I'm saying is that if the pressure was off, like they were playing against Cardiff today, them same chances.
Or when they went to United early in the season, when there was no pressure.
With no pressure, no one's thinking that you're going to go to Ultra and then just beat us 3-0. Every time that team is under pressure, Pochettino's teams come up short. I'll give you so many examples. So for you wanting Pochettino, that's great. But now we have a man, now we have a guy.
It's a good problem to have.
Now we have a guy in Solskjaer who delivered the result today. He delivered the result. For me, he right now is the front runner.
Oh my God, I've heard it all. This guy was not saying Solskjaer before.
But listen, what did I say?
Yeah, you said you're waiting for this.
I'm waiting for. That's all it is. I'm waiting for Spurs. That's all I said. And I'm saying today, because there was two reasons why I'm waiting for Spurs. Obviously, Spurs is the biggest test. And secondly, the managers. You wanted Poch so bad. A lot of people wanted Poch so bad. So I wanted to see. No matter what the two managers said today, it was a head-to-head thing.
Audition,
no matter what you said today, it was a head-to-head thing. Now you're Woodward, you're thinking, listen, do I need to go and splash 40 million and try and get this guy out of his contract? Or, listen, I can just get this guy from Mulder, give Mulder a bit of side money, say, listen, Solskjaer, you know you're going to leave Mulder. So if I offer you the job...
It's the team that I like. Is Solskjaer, Phelan, they just work together. I was watching the Dubai trips.
So
I was going to ask you, if you're Woodward, what do you do?
What?
Like, no, it's early now. It's early, but
obviously hypothetically, like, what do I think in Poch?
First of all, do you agree with what he said about? Sorry, did you agree with what he said about Tottenham?
No, because I never judge things on just one game.
No. See, that's what I'm saying. He's going off one game. Give me a pressure. Give me a pressure situation that Tottenham have delivered.
Where Tottenham have?
So he's saying under pressure because this is basically when Kev was here. Shout out Kev. Wait,
I don't attribute that to the manager only. So I'm saying,
okay,
no, but
even that comment.
They had the same thing with. Remember, it's not the first Spurs Renaissance where Spurs were meant to do this and that. Are you forgetting that exodus with Van der Vaart? Who did they have again? Bale. That was a decent Adebayo. I remember that team, George.
Yeah.
And who was it? Red? Redknapp and then Sherwood.
Yeah.
And people were shouting Sherwood for. Same thing. You can say it then.
But you know,
so are we going to say because so that's Spurs? I won't attribute that to Poch. That's what I'm saying when I say one match.
No,
I can't attribute it to Poch, bro.
He's got them to that level though. Where
Exactly.
But
He's got them to that level, yeah. Now, like we said, you just said it. He's got him to that level. This is where your thing comes in with your whole board thing. Yeah. You got to give this guy a bit more than what he needs. You see what I'm saying? Definitely. I think, I'm just saying, you get me? Because you have to pick. I think nobody's wrong or right here. You know what I'm saying? But if your Hamster's asking me what I would do, and I'm not basing it off that game. Okay. Yeah, in terms of Pochettino, the choking, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm going off what I've seen over the years. I will go for Pochettino.
Same here, still.
I think he's arguably the best manager in the league.
I'm telling you, man. I like
over Pep, because I respect Pep. Pep's won it all. But again, I don't. It's so easy. This is what I'm feeling football. It's so easy to say this person's won this, won that. We have to look at the resources they've had. Every country Pep's gone, he's had the best resources all the second.
He spent 150 on 3 fullbacks.
So you get me? These guys, these men, they've always had 100, 250 big war chests.
I
respect what they did, the accolades. I can't take anything away from them. But I look at, if this guy was managing Bournemouth, is he going to come on? Let's be honest.
I said to Skuffy off the podcast, I said, we talk about Spurs team are Chelsea better than Spurs right now? Are United squad better than Spurs? And that's a testament to Pochettino in itself, because if you look at their team, there's players in there like Davies, Trippier. Poch is the one that's got these guys to that level, to where we're even comparing them.
When Kyle Walker left here, I thought, Tottenham are stupid. Bruv, I didn't realise Trippier is where Miles I didn't know. And is that do I have to attribute that to Poch? Because I was thinking, Trippier is miles ahead of Walker for me now. Do you man agree? That's not a contest. I don't think. You don't think Trippier's better than Walker?
Oh no.
Oh my god.
You know what?
This guy's wrong.
I'd say that Trippier's more technical than Walker. I thought they both offered. I feel like Trippier's definitely on point, but when it comes to Walker, I feel like he does his job as a defender, but to know that
he's got.
No, I don't think he does. I think
I think he's Trippier. If I'm in an attacking team, he's just direct, whips and crosses. He can bang you a free kick.
No, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say basically.
Even Trent is better than Walker.
No, I was actually going to say that Trippier is more technical.
I'll give you that one.
Than Walker in my eyes, anyways. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like I would rather have Trippier in my team personally.
Even in the World Cup, they played Walker the back three, and they put Trippier in the right.
No, but listen, this is what I'm saying. Once again, you're seeing it as a punishment. Once again, you got to look at it as, listen, there's probably Trippier can't play that position. Walker can play different positions. Walker can do that wing back role. And he can play the first centre back. This is what I'm saying. You're punishing him for, Trippier's playing and then he's been forced into playing right centre back. That's because Trippier can't do that job. Trippier can do one thing and one thing only. Walker can do different things. But even going to Nesi's point there, Trent Alexander-Arnold is better than Walker right now. He is the best right back right now.
Quickly before we come off this year, because there's an age-old argument in the group about management. You touched on it earlier when you said...
because now
we got you here. Now we got Nesi here. Is perfect time to ask. So I'll ask you, coach, first of all, because you're a coach, yeah. I know Nesi's watching me how I word this question, because you might say, how important is a manager to a team? Basically, is that a good way of putting it?
I'll leave you to put it what way you want. I know my stance on it.
Listen, for me. Obviously, it's different levels of football. You're talking about professional football?
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I think 90% is players. That's me.
Thank you.
Listen.
First time they agree.
You can't agree, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I'll give you an example. Obviously, it's it's grassroots styles.
Yeah.
Today, my under-10s had a semi-final, and they were playing against a team that...
It was your fault.
No. They won. So they got through to the final. But what I'm saying is that they were 1-0 down after coming off the first quarter or whatever. They were 1-0 down. But I gave them a little bit of few words and blah, 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 and just told them, I'm not out there playing, So if you don't want to give effort, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do... You're going out of the competition. So don't be looking at me thinking, where's coach to give me... I'm not giving you no instruction. You're out there playing. You're the one making the tackles. You're the one making the through balls. You're the one making the decisions. It's you that's out there. So if you want to make it happen, you'll make it happen. So for me personally, I put a lot of the onus on players. You're the one out there.
Have you always said this?
But obviously the top managers put little tweaks to things. That's what makes the difference between.
Are we not seeing it right now with Solskjaer and Mourinho? Like, Skuff, talk to me. Solskjaer coming. Wait, let me talk to him.
No, can I answer that quickly? In terms of those two, once again, you keep going past my point. Solskjaer is playing with house money. Listen.
Nesi messaged me. Wait, quick joke. Nesi messaged me in a week saying, if this guy says house money one more time, I'm gonna.
Listen, the reason why. Because I want to put that in people's head. Because once again.
Yeah. See you later, man.
Once again.
But wait.
Listen. Once again, if Solskjaer comes in and the players don't perform, who people blaming?
Yeah, the players.
They're blaming the players. So the players had no choice. But guess what? But the tweaks that come in with the I'm a United legend. This is the United way. We play attacking football on the front foot. The spirit of the cap. It's those little tweaks. But when it comes out on the pitch, it's up to Pogba to do what he's doing. It's up to the other players to do what he's doing. It's up to Rashford to finish his chances, all that sort of stuff. It's up to them. But those little tweaks that, you know what, the manager that went out weren't really rating me. This manager that comes in, he was rating me. So those little tweaks psychologically help you. But the 90% of it, for me, is down to the players.
Fair enough. 100%. Skuff, you saw the way the players were playing today, yeah? In terms of literally the intricate passing. Yeah. And we said to each other, the confidence that Solskjaer's brought these guys is, you get me? Is evident. Like, he's come in and he's told, man, listen, you're my striker, to Rashford. He's playing well. Pogba, we're going to build a team around you. Like, surely the management has to play more of a role. Like,
to be honest, I wouldn't say it's 90-10 because I feel like usually you go off what the manager commands that you should more or less do. Do you get what I'm saying?
He's told Pogba get in the box more.
Do you know what I mean? So, fair enough, it's on the players to do what they do, but if they commanded to defend and they decide to go and attack, they'll get subbed off. What happened with Mourinho? Was it against Tottenham last time?
Yeah, we only have 3 subs though, by the way. So let's think about that one as well.
But it was always a thing of like, because he wasn't commanded to do what he wanted to do. He took him off. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. He took Pogba off. Yeah, he took Pogba off this time.
Do you get what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, if that result, do you know what I'm saying? So just say example, it went wrong. Who are we blaming here? Are we gonna blame the players? Or are we gonna blame the manager for that?
The management.
Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel
management makes some mad decisions.
So Solskjaer, I feel like, I wouldn't say like you say, he's done tweaks, but I feel like he's let the players be themselves, innit?
Let them free.
So now that he's let them be themselves and let them be free,
but
because before when Mourinho was there, I felt like it was a slave ship. You get what I'm saying? It's like, you lot just do what I do, and I don't care if you can't do this or whatever. Just do what I tell you. And when shit started going left, they wasn't playing how they were meant to play. So now that Pogba was playing his free role, where he decides to charge up and down. Look what he's doing now. Do you get what I'm saying?
He's got to have a bigger body of work, man. In terms of when you use Solskjaer as an example and stuff like that, in terms of the whole. Because don't forget, even if he does well these 4 or 5 months and he does get the job, listen, your honeymoon is done.
That's what I said to Skuff about. I said Di Matteo won the Champions League.
And this day and age, the fans will turn on you quick.
Oh no, I don't see no one saying no Solskjaer, man.
I think he'll have a bit.
Oh, do you mean next season if it went bad? No, okay.
All right, now let's put this thing in its whole entirety. Yeah, Sports Group on BlackBerry started 2009. We're now in 2019, and the root of Samuel's question comes from 2 people: Wenger and Mourinho. The whole Wenger out thing and the whole Mourinho great manager. I remember, I can never forget this day. There was a battle royale in the Sports Group. Everyone was against. It was me basically getting rushed by the whole Sports Group for saying, "Listen, Mourinho's had this, he's had that, he's had checkbooks everywhere he's gone." For him, this was 2009, 10 years ago I was saying this, yeah? Now, the reason this thing started was because my frustration used to come after every Arsenal match, fam. Diaby bangs an own goal, 90th minute, Wenger out. Somebody 2-foot somebody in the box, Wenger out. I'm saying, hang on a minute. Did Wenger tell him to bang? Did Wenger tell this guy to do 2-foot challenge? Can we? If that, it got to a point where people weren't even watching football. Like, you got last fan TV, people aren't even watch the match. They just come out. You don't blame a single player, and you just start shouting Wenger out. That is where the root of the thing of the manager thing came from. This is where it all came from. They remember I started coming with, like, things will happen. I said, fam, did he have a control pad? I don't need a manager to tell me to clear it if I'm under pressure by 2. I don't need a manager to tell me that. Now, this is why I agree. I think 10%, 9, that's a good ratio. It's really simple. Can I win a match? Can I play a match if I don't have a manager? Yes, I can. Can you play a match if you don't have your players? That already, there's some match there. So that already tells you it's in the favour of the players. Now,
No, people say 50-50. Let's not say people say full manager. People say 50-50.
The old school thing, this is one thing where this what I call English egg and bacon thing. I can remember. I'll never forget. Mr. Perkins, year 7. What did he tell us? As soon as you cross that line, he had a Peterborough accent. As soon as you boys cross that white line, it's down to you lot. I can only do so much, bro. Once they're on the pitch, how can you blame it? Don't be gassed by all these camera managers shouting and jumping and doing all this on the touchline. That's saying that's good management. That's passion. They're getting into their game. Some of them, they're reliving their old times vicariously through these players. People get too gassed by, this manager, he is the man, he's the man. No.
Nah, Mourinho did say that. Mourinho did say that. And Luke Shaw, it was my brain and his body.
Thank you. That's where the tide turned. Mourinho came to English and the British media, they loved it. And he fell for it like a fool. The same British media that make you, they'll break you. Mourinho came and shouting, I'm the special man, and that. The media, they loved him. Yeah, this guy. The same Mourinho 20 years later. He's the #1 villain on the back of paper. The same The Sun, the same papers that were licking your balls. This is what English media do. Wenger, he came in, revelised it. Fam, look at, they violated Wenger, bro. Don't fall for all this management gas, bro. Like,
Fergie's the only one that baskets.
What I will say is, okay, I can accept over the years, I've begun to, and Stelios, you will love this, so listen well, record it, save it. Yeah, I can accept that managers do play a bit more of a part than I've given credit over the years. You see what I'm saying? But again, remember my other argument was, back in the day when we was in school, fam, we didn't have discussion about managers, fam. You used to get angry at what your player did when I think the media and the whole Mourinho thing, it changed. It came to a culture of now blame the manager. It's a fun thing now. You get, as soon as a manager comes in, this one hashtag, and I don't like that. I think it's spoilt the game a bit now.
I think there's more to talk about. There's more topics for people to talk about.
But I think it takes away, I think it takes away a lot of responsibility on players, though.
Oh yeah,
that's 100%. My main issue. Yeah. This whole manager thing. That's always been it, Stelios. Simple as that. It's not that. I remember, fam, they were man in the group saying 50-50. That drove me mad.
I'll say 70-30 to be honest, because I feel like you have to set the tactics and then the players go out with it, and then from there, so they're more to blame, but at the same time you have to take what the manager's doing as well.
Where I get angry at managers is when you try the same thing, the same tactics, and that's where I lost my patience with Wenger. Because during form, I started checking Wenger out 2014, but 2010 to 2014, I was still backing him because I thought like, nah, the board haven't done what they're supposed to do, this and that. He's working with Lidl's and thing, and we're still getting top 4 now because there's other teams about, bruv. Liverpool, Chelsea, everyone, Tottenham, all these lot weren't there before, so top 4 was granted. But so yeah, I stayed off it. I wasn't at his neck like that. I didn't blame it all on him. Where you couldn't defend him no more was when you keep saying the same thing every year. You're doing the same tactics every week. You're trying to play this pass game. Like, but Wenger, it's outdated. You've got to get with the times. Times have changed. That's when I can't defend him anymore. And my love quickly turned to hate.
Listen, it's a perfect segue, man. Perfect segue. Let's talk about Arsenal. I think Skuffy should start. Because the thing is, what you said there about how Wenger was saying the same thing. Yeah. When you said that, first thing I thought was the board for some reason. I felt like the board was letting Wenger know the policy. This is what it is, bro. This is what it is. Yeah. You have to go out there. Sort of what Pochettino's doing now with Levy saying, talking about trying to divert that for the fact that they ain't got money. He's not coming out throwing his toys at the pram like how Jose would saying, the board didn't give me money. Yeah. He's basically following protocol saying, so Wenger was doing that with the board.
Where Wenger can't be defended is the board let him know what it is. Don't lie to us fans and tell us, you get me? That was where Wenger let himself down. Because I always had the back of my mind for, Wenger defended the board basically. He knew that the board was saying, Wenger should cover for them. He'll go, I don't know.
What should he have done?
Contract, he's 10 million.
Yeah, he should have profited from it too.
I felt like at that case, in that position, he shouldn't have taken a slide. I felt like he should have just signed out. Do you get what I'm saying?
What do you think he should have done then? Instead of backing instead of saying what the board wanted to say, what should he have done? Like, oh no, it's not me, it's the board. We ain't got money.
Well, no, you should have said. Obviously, it's
because the opposite of that is to say to the people, listen, get me, the board not giving me the funds I want.
The problem is he was getting hush money. He was getting his new 2-year contract, 10 million a year.
Was he not the highest paid?
Yeah, he was always had the stance that no player must be pay higher than me because I do most of the job all around the whole club. That's his philosophy and whatever. But the thing is, when the board come out and say, listen, we're moving from Highbury to Emirates so we can get some more money, invest in the team, and then when it's not happening, he can't now come out as the manager and say, yo, I'm tired. Because he's getting his
Do you reckon
compensation.
he was in on it from the beginning, or do you reckon as time went on?
Wenger's too smart. Wenger's too smart. Wenger's too smart to not know. He's too smart to not know that I've created this legacy at Highbury, and you've told these fans we're moving to so and so. But it's when he kept on getting that renewal. He weren't living up to Arsenal fans' expectations, but kept on getting renewal. Renewal. We're happy with Wenger. Every AGM, we're happy with Wenger. Wenger's cool. Getting his 10 million a year. He was just getting his hush money.
Let's skip forward to 2019 now. So now there's a new man in charge, and it seems like the board. It seems like the board needed. I said it at the time when Wenger got left or sacked, however you want to call it. The board needs someone that's just gonna,
yes man.
A yes man. They're not gonna want someone that's just gonna come and start throwing the toys at the pram. And Emery seems like I'm not saying he's a coward or whatever, but he seems like he's someone that's gonna follow.
Emery's a yes man.
But Emery did something this week that Wenger didn't.
I won't say.
No, listen. When Emery did something this week that Wenger didn't. He came out in a press conference and said, "Listen, we haven't got money. We only got money to loan." But Wenger wouldn't have said that. I reckon Wenger would have said, "Yeah, we're looking at players."
But guess what? Who's that going to help Emery?
No, I think he's letting the fans know. Listen, this is what it is. No, but the fans now, when you watch Arsenal fan TV, they're not telling no Emery. They're saying we know what it is now. How can we only have a loan option?
That's great, but Emery, you don't want to take on Stan Kroenke right now. He'll just release you from your duties and you can keep it moving, bro. That's what he's on. Stan Kroenke don't care.
So he's effed in.
But you know what's so funny? When the things were going wrong with Arsenal and fans were complaining, "Oh, you're not investing, Bruv, his other franchises are doing well, you know.
Rams is doing well now.
The Denver Nuggets are up there in the Western Conference, bro. At the top of the Western.
What's that? Is that basketball?
No, he's got NFL. He's got Rams.
I know he's got bare teams.
So, bruv, I don't know if Kroenke's trying to do the whole, let me work these American man.
Arsenal's an asset, it seems.
But so obviously that's all jokes aside. But all jokes aside, me personally, Emery, what he did, I rate him for doing that. But I don't think it's going to help him because in the long run, the board don't care. But you know why? Until them Arsenal fans stop coming to the games, not in process of Emery and the team, in process of we're not putting no
money into
but once it's seen empty seats,
or come to the games and don't buy anything. No halftime concessions.
Okay, now, did anybody watch? Okay, hang on. Did anybody watch Arsenal versus Blackpool the other day?
No. Yeah. Blackpool they come
away from home. And do you know how long Blackpool have been doing that for?
3 years.
4 years. Yeah. And what's changed? Nada. Okay. Now the problem with Arsenal, that's Blackpool. Yeah. The problem with Arsenal, do you know there's man that fly in from Scotland? There's man that take the train from France. There's man that take the Eurostar from Eurostar goes Belgium now. Every weekend to go to the Emirates. If you don't come there, somebody will fly from South Africa. You release just the season ticket waiting list for Arsenal is I think about 4 years now, bro. You release your season ticket. Chong Young Hung is gonna fly in from Singapore. But they got money like that. What do you do? They got money like that. What? That's what I'm saying. Excuse me, bro. It's not. It's the fact though. I'm just saying.
What you're saying is correct.
We might do that. We, the English fans that know the history of the club and know that the fans are the most important thing of any club. Without the fans, there's no club. We know that.
Wait. So wait. Let me.
No. Wait. Well, now because they're busy now. But I'm talking about the history. You go and look at the. It's all started without the fans.
No, but bro, you can go to the matches, and not buy anything. That's a hit. You know how much money those guys make from halftime concessions? Coke, £9.
Yeah, but the money's been made. Once, like, because what did they say? How even if you don't even go to the game, they still could count you as attendance or something if you already bought a ticket or something mad like that. Have you not heard that logic?
Yeah.
So it's like from time that the players go to the game, I feel like they would have made money.
So the fans. Go to the food, but
go to the games and don't buy anything. Don't put money in their pocket.
Been to matches. I think there's a spirit in that stadium.
This is my burger, isn't it? He just got my burger.
It's not gonna happen. That food thing is not gonna happen.
Why not?
The food will be sold as usual.
But why?
Because of the same. No,
but you can say I'm gonna consciously eat before I go to the game and not put any money.
It's hard to convince 60,000 people. We know human beings. Human beings. We love to say stuff. We love to do hashtag and that bit of marching and that. But once it actually comes to doing stuff,
not on it.
It's very difficult to do.
Because even the people on AFTV making noise, they go into every game anyway. You get what I'm saying?
90% of them man are jokers. Them man have got their own agenda. They're just trying to make them. Like look at DT. He's made his own team pop from it. So that's I wish you even leave them.
But even maybe the second best thing to do is to pick a minute where they walk out the game and stuff like that. Yeah, you just have to do it because what it is as well. Once again, it all comes down to business. Broadcasters ain't gonna like that.
This is what it is now.
See, when you got a live game, Sky Sports or even the American NBCN and all that. Once they see 60th minute and they start seeing floods of people just walking out and pros, they're not gonna like that because it doesn't look good for them on TV.
What about the players? How about the Arsenal players? How would they feel with their fans walking out on them?
Listen, guys are getting paid every week. They're not they're not part of that.
You know what? Let's talk about the players now. Skuff. So you're an Arsenal fan now. The start of the season, you had no expectation. I'm sure. I'm just assuming because there's a new manager. You're thinking, you know what? What were you looking for at the start of the season? Actually,
what in all comps?
Yeah. What was you looking for? New manager. What was you?
At least to get in the Champions League if it was to win Europa or top 4.
Okay. So you lot started. You lost against City, but then you went on the run. You've been doing well. As an Arsenal fan, okay. So,
how did I feel about that?
Yeah, how do you feel about that now? Your current status.
See, my thing is, I never got too carried away because I feel like a lot of people kind of just judge things for the moment.
Tell the truth, fam. Skuff.
No. I'm telling the truth now. But you say that, but you got to remember what you hashtag in the group, you know.
What did I say?
Title contenders.
Oh,
you did, right?
I'll confess to that.
Well, after what game was this? Hey, what the receipts?
Was it Liverpool 1-1?
He can't.
It was a game where it was Tottenham or whatever.
I can't remember. I was looking at the table and we were like 3-4 points behind.
He can't.
Come on, you know that's bad.
No, but
I'm not serious.
See, but my thing was like,
tell the truth. I put the eyes emoji next to it. Come on, man.
You put the eyes like, could we be like?
If I said that, everyone would have got onto me.
Yeah, that's true.
Trust me. So no.
Skuff. Okay, wait. Let me give you a background story. Yeah. So in the group, they call Skuff the whipping boy. Like how the United boys, we love Skuff because I personally feel Skuff keeps it real. Like he says, like you see how you have deluded Arsenal fans and you have deluded fans in general. Yeah. He's not deluded. There's times when they want him to come and say, "Oh yeah, but you know, like it was this or it's that." He comes and say, you know, bro, you just said title contenders, bro. Yeah, but what I'm saying, Skuff, Skuff in the group, everyone knows him for being the person that it just says how it is, and a lot of Arsenal fans don't like it.
You lot tell the truth, bro. How many times have you lot got onto Skuff over the years?
No.
How many times have I battled Skuff? has been the worst.
No. Cool. So my thing is, when it comes to Arsenal and whatnot, I'm realistic in it. Obviously, at first we could talk about the odds or whatever. To be honest, I was just more patient in it, and you probably saw it. Nesi probably saw it for me, just thinking, I love these guys. But realistically, I feel like these.
So he's the original Sunnyside Skuff.
Yeah, fam. I'm saying that's what 90% of our arguments have come from arguing over players that I think are shit. But he defends.
But to be honest, but in all fairness though, with the Ozil situation, it was just more thing of
one player.
No. And I'll get into all of them. Like with Ozil, it was more a thing of when he came to the scene, like he was killing it. Everyone was tearing their shirts when he first came. And then I think there was a season afterwards, he kind of started falling off, so forth. So me, I thought it was bad form. And then I think it took another season. Then I was thinking, yo, you know what? He's not really proven to be as great. And then afterwards, then I started labeling him trash. And I'm thinking, and then they gave him an extra contract.
You know what? Now you're there. Actually, let's touch on this. So Ozil, so he wasn't in the matchday squad in the week. He put out an Instagram post saying,
"We're going a bit all over. We need to do one thing at a time." We'll do.
This is a podcast, bro.
I was going to speak about basically what he's saying it with Arsenal situation. I think Arsenal fans, the ones that are moaning about they can only loan players in January. Let's be real. Like who's really buying players in January like that? Relax till the summer. If the summer proves like if Emery comes out in the summer and says, "Listen, I can only loan players," to me that's a big problem.
January is not the one.
No one's really who's really buying players like that.
A lot of people
to improve your squad as well.
Yeah, okay, it's true. It's hard to find a player in January, but at least one. But it's just. What I'm talking about, from a fact, I think we have every right on the counter side to be dejected at that. You look at the situation, not won our last 4 away games. We've got injuries upon injuries, and you're telling us we can't get anybody in. We're the team. You got to remember, when you're talking to an Arsenal fan, fam, we haven't enjoyed like you lot have in terms of splashing 300 million in one window. City, we're looking at all this. Even Spurs have had like exoduses with this.
Fulham spent 100 mil this
summer. Come on, which is Arsenal. Arsenal FC. Apparently, we've got is it the 3rd or 4th biggest after United and Liverpool? It's Arsenal, the third biggest franchise in the. Come on.
But the thing is, now me, I would say it's not fair. But then again, you got to look back and think, well, hold on. You see, Arsenal, even though there was never a team that used to spend millions on players, not even to when we won the Invincibles, we only got Lehman and Gilberto. And I remember saying, is that all we're getting? And these times we were killing it. But you see with where it's the thing where they're taking the piss is when they start raising the season tickets and we're paying the most. Like you're paying the most. Obviously that ain't where my money goes, but it's just one of them ones. So the money's obviously going up. So the fans are gonna feel it first. So when they're ranting and raving, I actually understand that because it's like you're gonna make them, you're gonna give us like you're gonna make us pay more, but at the same time for less quality or same or similar. Do you know what I mean? So I felt like that was.
Sorry.
No, so obviously I felt like it was more of a piss take. So I understand why people are mad. But when it comes to the loaning now, reason why I'm not so mad at that in January is more for the fact that you don't want Arsenal to go and squander their cash in it. Because imagine they went and spent 30 million on another Xhaka example. You'll be ranting and raving. So if you actually went to go and get somebody on loan and within them 6 months they actually do bits and then come to the end of the season, you know if it's money worth spending or not. Do you get what I'm saying?
So back to that Xhaka one. I think I said it last week as well. When you bought Xhaka for 35, Chelsea bought Kante for 30. So you don't. No, but you don't still spot. You spent Paul as well. It's not that you had no P's. Like
I hear what you're saying, but
did you defend Xhaka at any point?
No. Actually, I don't know. No. I didn't. No. To be honest, no. I think what it was that Lloyd J. I think he was like, he wasn't too sure about him, and I was like, to be honest. I'm still trying to study what kind of player this guy is because I didn't know who he was. Is it
fair to say you give players more of a chance than the rest of us do?
Yeah, but a lot of fans do though. When a new player comes into your club, you get behind. Look, Fred right now, I'm looking at him like, bro, what's happening?
The guy, but do you know where it comes from, Samson? When you're told, when you see all these, and I'm guilty of it, buying into all these rumours, Arsenal gonna get Dembele, this and that. And then you get some mechanic from France or some guy who looks like he should be working in a chicken shop and you're thinking, who's this guy? You have to go on YouTube to see what it's about. Then the player doesn't. I didn't know about Xhaka. I heard people talking about
I knew about Xhaka.
I heard what kind of player he was. I just knew that he got sent off a lot. All I knew is that he got sent off a lot, but what kind of player he was, I wasn't too sure. I didn't know if he was meant to be a DM or the playmaker.
Can we touch on Ozil now? Yeah? Alright, so during the week before the game, or during the week, he put out an Instagram post saying, Gunners, whatever, ready. But then it came out before the game that, he's out. He's not in the match squad, leg injury, or something like that.
He's back. Did you hear what Troop said on Arsenal TV? It's gone from his nose to his neck. Next is going to be his feet. This is going to get done. They started with neck or something, then back.
Surely they don't think the fans or the people are that silly, but something's going on here. So you look, can't try to shed
this because I can talk about hours.
He likes people that like to work. Emery. He just likes players that like to work. That's what he's built from Sevilla. That's why he probably didn't work out in PSG. Neymar's not trying to, track his player back just even to the halfway. Like he likes players that work. At the end of it, you can clearly see that in terms of even the players like playing. He likes playing a Wolby and all these players and that. A lot of Arsenal fans, a lot of ones I speak to, Wolby in the final third, this, that, and the other, but. Emery's seen the other side of the job that he does in terms of work rate and that. But I'm just saying,
Coach, is there any reason Ozil should not be in an 18 match day squad?
Of course, he's the manager. And if you're Ozil's, well, obviously you can't say that he's like that, but he seems like the type of guy. Listen, if I'm not playing at Anfield, I ain't travelling to Liverpool. That's how he comes across. If I'm not in the first 11 when you're going up to Anfield, I'm not coming there to sit on the coach or sit on the bench or whatever. I'll stay in London and just. But
Skuff though, during the game yesterday, you watched the match, yeah?
Second half, yeah.
During the game, like, surely it looked like Ozil was. Even though Ozil's not your guy,
he would have been like.
Put him on,
But to be honest, even if they should have started Ramsey though, at least because I feel
if it's not Ozil, it has to be Ramsey.
He would have basically connected the dots between the midfielders and the strikers because I felt like they were just there's midfielders and there's strikers. They don't play on the same team.
Like, I know you're trying to prove a point, yeah, but like I said, during that game yesterday, Ozil has to come on.
No, because I was gonna say clearly something's happened in the background. Clearly something's happened.
This is what I think it is. Yeah, it's like Ozil. Like for what they're paying him, obviously they should slash at least half. You know what I mean, or whatever. So to be honest, yeah, I feel like he's a creative player, and that's what Arsenal kind of do need right now. True, say I wouldn't want him there like at the end of the season or even now, but I feel like if he's there, you might as well play him the same way you're doing it with Ramsey. Do you get what I'm saying?
And then how do other players look at it that the most expensive. Do players even look at that? Do you reckon? Like, this guy's on 350. I'm on. They do or they don't?
Of course they look at that.
Yeah. So how do your players feel looking at that? This guy's not even. He's in London and we're here.
But let's be real, man. Arsenal ain't got players that can be looking at Ozil and saying, "Yo, bruv, this, that," and they don't have them sort of characters in the team. Who in Arsenal can look at Ozil and say, "Yo, I'm gonna tell him something about himself"? Who?
Aubameyang. I was gonna say Aubameyang.
Aubameyang's easy though. Aubameyang's one of them.
What you mean is a hard man, like a Roy Keane.
Yeah, tell him like, listen, you need to listen. If Emre wants you to do that, this is what you need to. There's no one there that's to tell Ozil anything whatsoever. But
but I think first of all, I'm gonna come onto that. Yeah, let's start with. Should we start with the game yesterday? Yeah, and Ozil being left out because that's where he started. Now. It's so easy. This is the thing. I was saying, hindsight. This is my thing. This is why. Do you know in sports school I always ask, what do man think before the game? Because I had to hear what man think before, what man think after. The easiest thing anybody can do is after a game say we should have done this. I hate that so much. Now, how many matches have Ozil's been at our club since? Is it 012 or 013? We're now 2019.
Wow.
12. No,
wait, 12 we won the league in 13. Yeah, Man United won the league in 13.
Yeah,
couldn't have been that.
So it was 13, 14. Yeah, you won in 13. So it's 2013-14 season. Yeah. Now, so 5-6 years now. But how many games has Ozil played in where Arsenal have a game exactly like yesterday and he's been the difference and he's changed the game and he's created something? People need to understand, creating play is not a pass.
That's what I'm saying.
A 5-yard ball across the goal to Aubameyang, to Lacazette, to Giroud is not creating. Creating is creating space. Creating is creating opportunity. Creating is creating situations. Ozil doesn't.
We got you there. You got you.
Ozil does not do that. Ozil cannot run with the ball at his feet.
Is it just by running? Because you see, when you said that, as you were saying that just now, wait, as you said that just now, I thought of that mad pass at Emirates that he did the other day. That was creating.
And what did he do for the?
No, what? Was that not a mad pass?
That was fantastic.
No, when he done it, he downplayed it though. He was like,
because
he downplayed it.
After what, brother? When there was a massive wave going on in the group, I'm not going to join you guys. I need to wait for the group to come.
We're talking about that goal.
If I can't give you guys what you want in the moment. And later, did I not acknowledge it wasn't good? Later. I'm not going to do that. You don't know I'm a stubborn git.
Yeah, but that's creating.
But let's not digest. Okay. Yes, he did. Okay, 90 minutes a game. After that creation, what did that guy do in the game? That creation, how many times a week does he do that, fam? Is he creating like Kevin De Bruyne? Is he creating like David Silva? Is he creating like Hazard? Is he creating like... Is he going to...
All the other number
when
10.
Ozil's got the ball, if you're defending against him, what do you think this guy's going to do? Are you worried about him shooting? If Ozil's in that 25-yard bit, are you worried about him running past you and making you look stupid?
No, you're just worried about...
He's going to pass it to somebody. But that's what he's going to do.
But you see, in
he needs everybody else, and this is where people come up with this luxury player thing. He needs... Bro, remember from the first season one, how many arguments did Ozil they make for Ozil? He needs to be in the middle.
Yeah,
he
they
needs
gave him a lot of
Ronaldo.
chances
He needs
still.
a fast strike. Hang on a second. At what point do you point the finger at this guy and say, hang on a second, what do you... So wait, we've brought a player that we need who now has other needs. Something's going on here.
I think they were just trying to cater to him. I thought they was trying to cater to him, but one thing
is wrong. He's not that good.
Yeah, it's true. They shouldn't.
He's not that good to be catering.
But there was something that they said yesterday is that even though, because I think people were getting onto Ozil about the fact that even though he wasn't playing, but it's like
Ozil doesn't play. You blame him.
But you blame him. But Arsenal had a lot of clear-cut chances
yesterday. That's the thing I was going to say.
They had clear-cut chances, and they didn't take them.
We had more chances than West Ham.
Do you get what I'm saying?
We had more chances than West Ham. We had 5 clear-cut chances and we didn't take them.
So I can't blame Ozil for that. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, you can't blame. What do you mean? You can't blame Emery for that. You can't blame. You can't say, there's a few people. But people are trying to say, if Ozil, hindsight, it's so easy to say if Ozil had played, he would have created this, would have created that. Fam, we created the chances, we didn't take them. I'm sorry. And this is where I think I can't say about the yes man thing, because if he was a yes man, he would be playing his most expensive player.
Yeah, 100.
Wenger would be playing Ozil week in, week out for 90 minutes. I've seen Ozil on the pitch like this, and Wenger doesn't take him off. He'll take off somebody that's working play. If the whole stadium is like, no, what you did? I've seen. Do you remember when Wenger took off Chamberlain, a young Chamberlain against
Manchester? People went happy.
The whole crowd went, fam, RVP looked to the bench like this.
Yeah.
Fam, that is chaos.
I think even to go back to what Nesi just said, in terms of when I mean yes man, I don't think necessarily in like the Ozil situation, but I'm talking about the overall stuff of transfers. I don't think he has the final say in transfers. No, I don't. That's me. I don't. He's head coach. So for me, it's maybe 4 or 5 people that get round the round table. He's at the round table saying his opinion, but if the other 4 guys saying, yo,
that's mad. So what, are you telling me? So you telling me that certain clubs, yeah? Cause I remember Liverpool had something like this before, innit? Yeah. So basically, what? So in these teams, yeah, they can. A manager can say, I don't want this guy.
Maji, wait, Maji. They asked Sarri, what do you think about Pulisic early in the season? He said, yeah. He said, yeah, he's a good player. Bro, when they said Pulisic is here, and they said, how do you feel about the Pulisic arrival? He said, I didn't know. I didn't even know he was coming.
Chelsea been doing it for the longest, bro.
It's mad.
It's a business.
There's more. Because what it is as well, it's also with sometimes with these American owners, they do it, they're trying to do the American way, where you've got a general manager who gets the players in and the head coach has to coach them players. So they think it works in football, so people like Arsenal, even to a certain extent.
I don't want Americans in football, man. Everything, bruv, man.
So I'm saying, when I mean yes, man, I think in that term, moving forward in terms of transfers, he'll be round the table. But I think if the Dortmund guys that came in or whoever they are, what's the name? Those are the guys that are going to bring in the players for him to coach.
Skuff, what do you do with Ozil now? So how many years has he got left on his contract?
I think 2021, I think he's gone.
So what?
To be honest, yeah, I think
So wait, what I'm asking is, are you just gonna be like, okay?
No, I can't. To be honest, being realistic, obviously we don't want him to see him there, but I just see it as if he's there, you play him. Even if he has to build, I don't know about starting him, but I see it as you either play him and at least somehow build a brand and just like, you know, make market value for yourself.
Polish him up and sell him.
Polish him up and sell him. Because I feel like if you're gonna be there, say again.
I don't think you can, bro.
No. When I say no, as in like, but either way, your aim is because benching him. How's he gonna go? You think he's gonna cancel his own contract? If you've got him, you play him because the same way how Ramsey's gone, it's like okay, because you know Ramsey's leaving. You would have thought okay, he's not part of the team no more. You might as well not play him no more. But obviously, you know he still puts
literally that bad that I feel, and I think Emery thinks the same. We are worse with Ozil in the team. This is what people don't want to accept. It's that bad. Wow. It is that bad, G.
That's sad.
Like you've got a man. Like when he's on the pitch, like we've got 10 men. Like you said, you know what? We do a Iwobi thing. It's not even that Iwobi works. He just works more than Ozil, and it's not hard to do. Iwobi's a lazy guy as well. Do you know that? But he makes it look like he's work. Watch the highlights. Watch how many times Iwobi he got off the ball. His dreadlocks start flying. He does his step overs, loses it, doesn't go back. But he's got a little bit more intensity than Ozil. He can run with the ball. He can play in the 4-3, which Emery likes. Ozil is literally only good if you're playing in the old school 4-4-2 diamond. And even then, he's still not the best.
I was going to say to that even, yeah. I say use him, but don't start him. But on top of that, you know when you're talking about Ozil, from what I'm starting to see with other formations with other people, they ain't really using the number 10 anymore. So you see your Silvers and your Ericssons, they're playing in different positions, but obviously with Ozil, he's a number 10, and that's it. So he has to go. He's not doing. He's not going to be the best.
I have to say this because I'm going to forget. Another factor which I think people don't want to accept is I don't think it's that he's always been what he is now. He's actually gone worse. He's actually declined.
Oh yeah.
And this is what we're talking about. You know, with the whole when you're talking about Rashford and 21. Ozil's for me he peaked at 25. You don't let these players smoke. I think the cigarettes caught up with him. There's pictures of him smoking. I think this guy, the cigarettes caught up with him. I can guarantee if you go to this guy's house,
he's got shisha and that.
Yeah, he's one of them man there. He's fit, because brother, what I'm saying, everything I say he don't do now, when I look at his clips at Werder Bremen, I'm sure we all watched the 2010 World Cup, different Ozil. Even at Real Madrid, fam, he actually had a bit of intensity. He wasn't just this guy. People keep saying passing the ball and he'll create something. So they just think pass it, he's going to do a through. Football don't work like that. A through ball's not always going to be on. When there's not a free ball, what's he going to do? He has to
pass side to side, which is what he does.
Cannot run at a defender, make the defender think, what am I going to do? You know he's going to pass. If Ozil's one-on-one with the keeper, guess what he's going to do? He's going to pass. It's like it's a sickness, a disease. He doesn't want to shoot, bro.
But anyway,
for me, just to wrap it up, for me, in terms of Ozil, I think Emery, he kind of shot himself in the foot in the situation because I know what he's trying to do, put his stamp on things, but I think he should just leave Ozil out there to dry for the rest of the season. He's already come out and said the loan thing, which now the fans are getting onto the boards back. Just put Ozil out there and let him hang himself.
Some fans don't agree with it. Well, Arsenal Fan TV, some fans were saying Ozil has to play.
Let him
going to be pleased.
But when you say let him out to dry, what do you mean?
Put him out there. Yeah. Put him out there. Once again.
Oh, he will expose himself.
So right now, people are forcing Emery like, Emery, your team selection was this. Your team, but realistically, you can't blame Emery for nothing this season. No matter how you want to slice him, whether he gets top 4, whether he doesn't, The brother has been there for a few months only. That's it.
This season, I think he's got a free pass.
He's got a
100%.
free pass this
100%.
season.
Let's
man.
quickly. So next game is Chelsea,
For who?
Arsenal. So that's very good for United, who are trying to get that top four. I know Coach don't care about top four. I'm never gonna look in his direction. But how do you see that game going? Is that Emirates or
Emirates?
Emirates, yeah.
Personally, I feel
We need a draw from that, but
I feel like Arsenal turn up. I don't think they'll win.
wait, what is this? Lukaku's 100 goals.
Hey, nah, what?
He's been distracting me.
Hey,
Now, to be honest, I feel like Arsenal turn up more than they did against West Ham and whatever. But I don't know if they'll win. It might be a draw, but I feel like the defense will get exposed. To be honest, is everyone back now? Well, like all the players, they back now.
Even if they are, they're still.
Because the thing is, look,
It won't, like basically Chelsea won't run with it because you see even at the start of the season, now Arsenal they lost but they came in fighting. So I feel like
2-0 down quickly.
2-0 down, yeah, of course. But I feel like
Chelsea are not on form like that either. They're
Chelsea
getting the
are
job
on
done.
form.
And the thing is, against Tottenham, I don't think a lot of people gave Arsenal a chance. Arsenal won it.
You know why I always lean to an Arsenal loss? We are the only team in the top 6 that can have a good game and still lose. That's just the fact of it. We can play our best and still lose. We all talked about that game at against United last season. I don't know what more we could have done. We're the only team. And then when we play bad, it's bad. It's 5-1, it's 6-0. You know what I'm saying? So that's my problem. I'll always lean towards an Arsenal loss.
I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal won that game.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
It's Arsenal. It's a bag of rebels.
Yeah.
Like you just
When you
go
don't-
you go lose to West Ham.
that's the thing.
Everyone's on a downer.
Yeah.
They
Every
say we
time I
got
expect
Chelsea.
it, and then we win. You're right.
And
You're
then
right.
they
That's
end
what
up
happens.
winning. So I wouldn't even.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be.
It's true.
And then the
Every time I
next.
expect us to lose.
Yeah.
I'm going for a draw.
I think it's an Arsenal loss, bro.
I think it's a
I
draw.
think it's an Arsenal
How
loss.
do you-
If Arsenal do lose, it's because they did try, but they didn't try hard enough, or they didn't do enough. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, but it's at home, under the
I hear what
lights.
you're saying. You say that, but it's Arsenal. You don't know what to
How,
expect.
how do you set up, Nesi? If you're Emery, how do you set up? What formation?
This is tough because we're in opposition now. Yeah, it's a 6-pointer, bruv. Chelsea are 6 points ahead of us. We lose, they go 9 points clear. We win, we get they're only 3 points, so we're regaining that gap. I think we have to go for it. So I think I'm not on the 5 at the back thing. I think he goes for the 4-2-3-1 for this game, because the whole point of the 5, that's how can you be shit with 3 at the back? That's what gets me mad about Arsenal. Even when we had, like, people were saying Holding was playing well, but he wasn't, you know. Because if you look at our games, we kept having to come behind. That whole stupid unbeaten run, we came behind every game. If you keep coming behind every game, that shows you there's a sign it's going to catch up. You think you're going to go 38 games coming from behind? No, it's going to catch up with you. And it caught up. Holding, when he was playing and he kept playing him on the left, Holding didn't know how to use his left foot. That guy was putting us in stew. People were saying he was playing good because he was winning. He was somebody that could deal with this aerial stuff, innit? He was winning a couple of headers. But we have one decent centre back. He's not great, Socrates.
So wait, so you bring Torreira back in because he didn't start.
Oh,
he didn't start at West Ham.
What do you want? My full 11?
No, not your full 11, but so you bring Torreira
I
back
can
in.
do it quickly anyway. I'll go Monreal, Kolasinac at the back. I'm not fast, really. You get me? I like, a lot of Arsenal fans I like him because he's good going forward.
Kolasinac.
Yeah, I like him. So I'll go Monreal or Kolasinac. Centre backs, Socrates. I don't even know.
Mustafi.
No, I'll have to go Koscielny. I'll still go Koscielny over him. Even though it's awful, but Mustafi is a wrestler. He should not be playing football. That guy's a rugby player, a wrestler. Watch his tackles, bro. He literally holds you and takes you down. Trust me. Obviously, Bellerin, innit? He's back now. In front, I don't know why Emery's. There's obviously a reason to it. I don't know why he doesn't like Torreira and Guendouzi for whatever reason. You get me? But that's
A lot of people say Xhaka's stature alone, the presence in midfield. When you have Guendouzi and Torreira, they don't have that presence.
Yeah,
that
because
steal.
one's bad short and one's bare skinny.
They
But
don't have the steal.
Xhaka, all he's doing is the game passes him by, G. It looks like the game is too fast for him. He looks like he's stuck in the mud. You get me? He's literally good because he can spray the odd long pass and he can hit a left footer. But how many times is he gonna do that? 3 times a season. He'll hit some crack out of nowhere.
Free
in front. So obviously I'll go Ramsey. I would have said Mickey, but he's still injured. So yeah, it's gonna be So basically the front 4: Ramsey, Iwobi, and Abalaka, innit?
Oh, so you're playing Laka and Aubameyang together? Yeah. Okay.
So you have to push. Unfortunately, I like Abba through the middle, but then the only thing is I can't. You get me? Like you man already said, I've not really connected that well with Lacazette. I don't feel him like that. Like the way that certain other fans are feeling him, I don't really feel him like that. Alba, for me, I put him up there. He's a top striker. But because based on what we have, I'd have to go, so Alba on the wing, he will be whatever side. Ramsey in the hole, like a spear.
You don't bring Ozil back into the squad.
Gee, Ozil is left. He can stay in his house in St Albans or Hertfordshire. It is. I don't want him there. Like, I'm not Chelsea for what? What's he gonna do?
No, yeah.
He might have a good. It's too risky. G.
How do you see Chelsea? Because Chelsea are actually, even though they're not playing well, they're getting the results. I'm just waiting for Chelsea to drop points. It seems like they're not doing it. So do you see them winning, or maybe Arsenal?
I just wouldn't be surprised if either result.
Oh, you said
If Chelsea win, I'm not surprised. If Arsenal win, I'm not surprised either. Do you know what I'm saying?
had to predict though, who would you say?
Arsenal.
Serious?
Yes, because everyone thinks that they're going to lose and everyone's on a downer. That's when Arsenal just, once again, it's not that it's not pressure because it's a top 4 thing, but it's like everyone expecting them to lose because of what happened at West Ham. Everyone's on a downer. We can only get loans, this, that, and the other, and they probably end up producing a performance.
Scuff, what's your top 4 predictions? I don't think it's early enough. I don't think it's early to say now. Give everyone.
Cool. I want to say.
We've seen everyone play now.
In the order or just the top?
In the
top 4 order.
Yeah. Alright, so I'll say Liverpool, City.
Oh, Liverpool for the title. You can't just be quick. Liverpool to win the title, yeah? Okay.
So I'll say Liverpool, City.
Saying in order 1 to 4, innit?
Yeah, 1 to 4. So Liverpool, City, Spurs, and maybe United.
Hey, Man United.
Nah, man. I'm gonna say 1 to 6, innit? So I'm still sticking with City for the title. Liverpool 2nd, Spurs 3rd, Chelsea 4th, United 5th, Arsenal 6th.
So that's basically the way you don't see the table changing from now to the season.
We're 5th.
Oh, same thing.
Same thing for me.
Oh wait, who did you say was 6?
Arsenal fan.
Arsenal, okay.
Yeah, same thing for me.
So you don't think United will get top 4?
No, I hope they don't. So.
Do you actually think that they
I don't think they will. I think Tottenham and Chelsea can be consistent enough. And once again, everyone's going to be dropping points, and I think Man United will drop more points.
But you know what though? I feel like at the same time, I want to say that's not top 4, but I guess it depends who they also get in the window, innit? Because it's still any of the top 4 teams. Any of the top 4 teams.
Well, City are not adding. Liverpool are not adding.
Chelsea, they get someone every window.
Not Chelsea.
They get a decent player every window.
They end up getting rid of a Doy or whatever. Because you got to think. I think they really want a striker. They've been playing Hazard up front, innit?
Yeah.
So what's to say that if they don't sell Morata, they don't get Higuain? Because Higuain wants to leave.
Yeah.
So and Higuain's a poacher and a half. Do you get what I'm saying? So
if they get Higuain,
so it can change. So if that's the case, then I might replace United with Chelsea. But do you get what I'm saying? But Arsenal ain't gonna get in the top 5. I mean top 4, sorry. But I feel like if they're gonna do anything, Europa League is more. If they're gonna win anything, it's gonna be that.
Cool. Before we get out of here, so you just glossed over Liverpool. You think Liverpool gonna win the title?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. So Liverpool, they grinded out a result yesterday because I watched that game, 3 p.m. game. They was off 2 back-to-back losses. I thought, okay, let's see this as
Was that a penalty?
Yeah, it was a penalty, Salah. So it was tight. I watched it. It was very. Even though Brighton didn't play well, there was a very nervy game.
What did I tell you in the previous podcast? See how Brighton looks in October is totally different to how playing Brighton in January. It's just even them small teams now are going to the pressure.
Liverpool they had to give their all to get over that grind, that result.
Perfect result at this time of the season. Perfect. 1-0. Keep it moving. Now the pressure's back on City. You got to do your thing against Wolves. And that's it.
Do you reckon City do at Wolves? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a hiding though.
Probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
They'll just win. I don't think.
By the time this comes out, they would have played basically.
City's at home, yeah.
Yeah. City at home.
Come on.
So, what you think?
Monday night kickoffs or something.
Nah, it's at home. Etihad. I think they're gonna win. So you think City are gonna win?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I still think so, bro.
Why?
Just
What?
because
Yeah.
Liverpool haven't had a blip yet. Like even the City game wasn't a blip. It was 2 tactical managers,
against a good team.
2 top teams, and it was very tight. You get me? You lot's boy Sterling showed up. Just get me, Sane.
You know what though? But Liverpool being outside the FA Cup now, like they got more things to focus on.
Exactly.
I mean, less things to focus on. But City are still in it. They're on all comps still. They still got to do the Carling. Like, do you know what I mean? They're still in Champions League, so
they got the squad one. And I think, bro,
and also, and Man City, they're probably gonna try harder for the Champions League than they would for the league because they've won the league.
No, I see them going for this. This time, if they were coasting the way they were last season, and it was this time, this season, and they already won it the season prior, I reckon, you're right. But This time, I think they're actually pulling the sleeves up. Like, what? Liverpool are 7 points ahead of us. This is a challenge now.
I feel like Liverpool have made more of a mark. Well, obviously they got to the Champions League final. I think like they're in it. If they're in it, they win it. Cool. But I feel like if like Liverpool are in a closer position than they were, how many years ago was it?
Yeah, when then they slipped up.
Yeah, they slipped up, whatever. Yeah. So I feel like because they're actually in the driver's seat right now, they might rather take that more serious and not mind getting knocked out of it.
But that FA Cup game you're talking about, yeah, I know they played a lot of kids, yeah, but Sturridge was up front. And he was a myth. He didn't deliver. When you bring these players in from City, it's like for like. You bring Mahrez, you're bringing in.
What I was just gonna say, Samson. Yeah, you look at like if it's not a Salah penalty or a last minute, bro. Even where's Mane? But where's Mane been last 3 games? Firmino turn up again. Like it seems like you get me. The players are. I don't know if they're getting tired or they're dropping off. Where City, if Pep sees any nonsense, bruv, Gabriel Jesus, for God's sake, he played 4 goals the other day. Light work. You get me? Fair enough, it was whatever, some cowboy team, but it just shows the levels. You see what I'm saying? Liverpool, 1-2 injuries, you're in trouble. Something happens to Van Dijk for 1. Think about it, 3 games is a long time. When it's that time. Huh?
Who played centre back?
Fabinho and Van Dijk. Fabinho played well.
Injured, didn't it?
Yeah, see, so.
A couple man can run at Fabinho, you know.
Exactly. That's what
One of the games. It might not be
1-2
whatever Brighton
injuries,
striker's name is, because he's not quick or nothing.
1-2 injuries to one of their key players, and get me down that spine. Peak for them. Like you said, that's the nail on the head for me. City, when someone comes out, you're not really bothered, fam. They've been out.
KDB has been out. That is the most man.
He's fresh. Bro.
I don't think of that still.
But yeah.
Stick to the gun.
Wait, who are you going for before we hit that?
He said City.
Oh,
You said City, yeah?
I prayed City win.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. As a United fan, you don't want
The
them.
thing with me, I won't be like, because it's lit, I'm not going to. Arsenal Liverpool is not really.
Oh, but you have said prior, like, Arsenal fans, because Liverpool haven't won nothing for years as well, and Arsenal been in a drought. Arsenal been in a small drought compared to Liverpool.
What did I used to say? It used to piss me off that people get, the media especially, they get onto Arsenal so much, but they never say anything about Liverpool.
A lot of them are former pundits, a lot of them are former players.
Liverpool get with murder.
But then again, I would be annoyed to a degree if Liverpool won it, but I felt like the lid blew for me when Leicester won it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because realistically, you should have been winning it before Leicester, and that was your chance, and you blew it then. So if Liverpool win it, I won't even be as mad. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get it.
Come on, man.
And as well, like for me, it's like, okay, bro, if they've entertained me, they've played good football.
Yeah, played good football.
And now they've got players I like. I can't be too. I can enjoy it in a way. You see what I'm
There's
saying?
still gonna be more twists and turns from that in the season. So, but yeah, you man, I've enjoyed this. It's been a good chat. So until next week, Skuff.
Yes.
You got your first one.
The racehorse.
Rashford.
Green grass.
Listen, let me go and tune into Man United.
Yeah.
Get me.
Best player in England.
Nah, big Sterling.
But yeah, peace, love, guys. Have a good week. Yeah.